Fighting a counter-puncher can be a real nightmare, and in this video I will give you different counter-punching rhythms that you should know to level up your boxing game and make your opponents afraid to throw a punch at you. And in the end, I will give you a bonus tip how to deal with the counter-punchers. Let's go! And the first counter-punching rhythm is when you go blow to blow with your opponent, so you counter him simultaneously. For example, he throws the jab, and I go right at him, I move my head to the side and counter his jab with my own jab. And the whole point of this is to move your head from the attack line, so he receives the damage and you don't. Also, if you are a tall guy, you can not move your head to the side, but like parry his punch. For example, he throws a punch at me, and I am a taller guy, so I parry his punch and hit him in his head. Also, you can not only go forward at him at the same time, you can also take a step back or to the side. For example, he throws the jab, I take a step back and hit him with my right hand. For example, he throws the cross, and I can counter him with a side step. For example, he throws the jab, and I counter him with an uppercut with a side step. Also, you can throw counters to the body as well. For example, he throws the jab, and I counter with a punch to his body. Also, you can not only counter straight punches, but you can also counter his hooks. For example, he throws a hook to the body, and I throw an uppercut when I see an opening. For example, he throws his lead hook, and I cover myself with my shoulder and hit him with a cross. So you can basically counter any punch and with any punch, with a step in any direction. So you have a lot of possibilities with this rhythm. Also, you can counter not only single punches, but combinations. For example, he throws 1-2, I block 1, and when he goes with the 2, I counter him with a cross. Now, let's do it again. And it will look like this. And you can counter basically any combination. You can predict a punch. For example, I know that he likes to throw jab, jab, cross, and when I learn it, for example, he throws it one time, I block, step back, then he tries to throw it again, I block, sweep, and at the third time when he throws it, I will counter him. So study your opponent and make conclusions, try to predict him, and when you see a punch coming, hit him hard with a simultaneous counter. And to practice it, I would recommend you to go slowly with a partner. For example, he throws the jab, and you try to counter his jab with different punches. Then try to throw the cross and counter the cross with light punches. So yeah, and this way try to counter different punches with different punches. And then once you do that, try to add movement. So you move and he throws punches faster. And you start with defense, and once you see his punches, you can start countering them. And once you're good with that, try to counter combinations. So you start moving and he throws 1-2, for example. And I start with only defense and then add counters. So yeah, practice this type of simultaneous counters with your partner. Start slowly and gradually add speed, so you will master this counter-punching rhythm. Хорошо. And the second counter-punching rhythm is when you hit him between his punches. And we use this rhythm to counter combinations. For example, he throws a basic combo jab, jab, rear hook, and I block his double jab and land my jab before he has time to throw his rear hook. So basically, I broke his rhythm and disrupted his combination. And also, I can not only counter him with a single punch, I can do it with a combo. So he throws the same combo, and I throw jab, and then I continue hitting him. And to practice this counter-punching rhythm, I will recommend you and your partner to pick a bunch of basic combinations that everyone knows and everyone throws. For example, jab, jab, cross, then jab, cross with hook, jab, sweep, uppercut, cross, and stuff like that, and try to counter them slowly. For example, he throws jab, cross with hook, I block it, and yeah, I slowly counter him just to practice, just to touch him. And then once you're good, add movement and add speed. So he throws the same combo. Yeah, at first time I just block it, just to get a hang of his speed, of his rhythm, and once I can predict him, I will try this counter punch in rhythm, and I will break his rhythm and hit him between his punches. So that's the point of this rhythm and how you practice it. And the last way of throwing counter punches is to hit him right after he finishes his attack. For example, he throws a single jab, and as soon as he finishes his attack, he gets his hand back, and I go right after him. So he doesn't have enough time to retreat, and I can catch him off guard. For example, he throws the cross, I do a slip and hit him with an uppercut when he goes back. For example, he throws lead hook, I roll, and then I counter him with a combination. For example, he throws a body punch, I block it with my elbows, and as he goes back, I hit him with a cross. So you can use any defensive move, and then when you see that he comes back to his starting position, you start hitting him, but don't give him enough time to retreat, so you can catch him off guard while he's still exiting from his attack. And you can not only, of course, counter his single punches, but you can also counterattack his combinations. For example, he throws 1-2, I dodge it, and as he finishes, I counter him. For example, he throws 1-2-3, I block, roll, and then I start hitting him. And yeah, to practice this counter punch in rhythm, I will recommend you to just pick a single punch. For example, your partner throws the jab, and you counter it after doing different defensive moves. For example, after the block, then after a sweep, then after a sweep inside, an uppercut, and yeah, so use different defensive techniques and counter him with different punches. And also he throws then the cross, and we do the same. Then he throws hooks, and I counter his hooks. And then once you're good with that, ask him to throw combinations. So he throws, for example, the most basic one, jab cross, and you start countering his jab cross. And yeah, just add movement, add speed, and practice different combinations. And now I'm gonna give you a bonus tip on how to work against counter punchers. For example, every time I throw the jab, he counters it, and I'm already afraid to start my attacks. But he won't even try to attack me, and I don't know what to do. In situations like this, the best way to deal with him would be to deceive him, to use a feint. So, for example, he knows my jab, and then I just fake it, and as he goes to counter it, I will hit him with a counter. So basically, I counter his counter, if that makes sense. And yeah, so just deceive him, use feints, then drag his counter, and counterattack him. And also, one more tip will be, for example, you see that he's preparing his counter, and I will just walk off him, and I will show that I'm relaxing, and as soon as he relaxes, I will attack him. So the main idea is to be unpredictable and try to fool him. So those were the 3 counter punching rhythms and a tip how to work against counter punchers. If you like this video, make sure to be subscribed, because I will post more useful content for you. And if you want to learn more advanced skills, definitely check out the KO Boxing Package, which is a training program that is designed for guys who want to go from a complete beginner to an advanced boxer. Thanks for watching, and stay sharp.